Every night, when you drift into sleep, you step through a door that feels like nothing more than a fog. A place where rules bend, people change, time loops, and logic dances in reverse. You call these experiences dreams, but what if they aren't just mental movies stitched together from memory and imagination? What if there's something far more profound? What if your dreams are real? What if, in every moment you sleep, your consciousness slips into another version of you living in another universe? And what if every person you meet in your dreams is not just a figment of your mind, but a connection to someone else's real life, real self? Because at the deepest level, all minds are linked across the great web of existence. Buckle in, because this isn't just a theory. It's a journey through the nature of dreams, the fabric of the multiverse, and the secret connections between all of us. Have you ever had a dream where you're in your childhood home, but the hallways are longer, the wallpaper is different, and yet everything feels exactly right? Or maybe you've walked into a city that doesn't exist, but you somehow know every street corner, every alley, like you've lived there your whole life. How could your mind conjure such details from nothing? Here's the idea: it doesn't. Instead, those places exist. Not here. Not in this reality. But in another. A universe layered beside ours, vibrating at a slightly different frequency. And in that world, another version of you lives dreaming, thinking, struggling, thriving. Sometimes when you sleep, your consciousness momentarily merges with theirs. You experience their reality, walk their streets, feel their fears. That's why dreams feel so real. That's why some places haunt you for years. Because you weren't imagining them. You were remembering. Physics already flirts with the idea of a multiverse. In quantum mechanics, particles exist in multiple states until observed. Expand that logic, and you get the many worlds interpretation where every decision spawns a new universe. Somewhere, you became an astronaut. Somewhere else, a baker. Somewhere, you never made it past childhood. In another world, you made every right or wrong choice. But here's the twist: all these yous aren't sealed off. Consciousness doesn't obey the same rules as atoms. It doesn't respect borders between realities. It leaks, wanders, connects. Like a stream flowing through different landscapes, it trickles between versions of you across realities. And dreams? They're the splash. When your mind quiets, your inner radio tunes into other frequencies, other lives. You become a temporary traveler, slipping into the skin of your other selves. The architecture might be unfamiliar, but the soul? The soul feels like home. Now consider this: in your dreams, you meet people. Some you know, some you've never seen. Some feel like old friends. Some like enemies you've never met. Who are they? Your brain would say, random neurons firing, but your heart knows better. These people matter. They feel real. That's because they are. Each dream character might be the echo of a consciousness from someone in this universe or another. The deep mystery is this: all minds are subtly linked. Not through space, but through a shared substrate of consciousness that exists beyond time and dimension. Imagine it like the internet. Billions of pages, all separate, but connected through a common network. You're not a lone page. You're a node in a vast web. When you sleep, your firewall drops, and the network flows through you. You don't just see another's face, you are them for a moment. You've felt this. A sudden understanding of someone else's pain in a dream. A love so deep you wake up crying. That's not fiction. That's connection. Have you ever had someone tell you, "You were in my dream last night," only for you to realize you dreamed about them too? It's rare, but it happens. And it hints at something extraordinary. Quantum entanglement tells us that particles can be connected across vast distances. What happens to one affects the other instantly, no matter the gap. What if consciousness behaves the same way? Once you've connected deeply with someone through love, hate, grief, or joy, your minds become entangled. And in the dream world, where the veil between realities thins, that entanglement activates. You might dream of their alternate self, and they of yours. You might share a moment neither of you can explain, but both feel. These moments suggest that the human mind isn't bounded by biology. It's a traveler, a mirror, a receiver. And dreams are the proof. Here's the paradox. If dreams are real, why do we forget them so quickly? Why can't we live in that other world while awake? Because reality has loyalty. Your consciousness is anchored to this world, to this body. When you dream, you borrow a glimpse of another, but you must return. Like water slipping through fingers, the other life can't be held for long. The physics of memory don't function the same across universes. The emotions linger, but the context evaporates. Still, you wake up changed. You might wake with sudden insight, a new idea, a healed heart, a poem that seems to write itself. That's the gift your other self left behind. That's the purpose. Dreams aren't just visions. They're messages. Memos from your alternate selves. Sometimes warnings. Sometimes wisdom. Sometimes just a whisper saying, "You're not alone." Carl Jung once spoke of the collective unconscious, a shared layer of symbols and experiences all humans draw from. But maybe he underestimated it. What if it's not unconscious? What if it's a live feed? The symbols in your dreams, the ocean, the flight, the endless hallways, are not just metaphors. They are shared code, like hyperlinks on a universal operating system. When you dream of flying, perhaps that's your alternate self living on a world with lower gravity. When you dream of drowning, maybe it's your other self gasping in an emotional sea. The beauty of this idea is that it removes the walls between us. We're not isolated islands. We're overlapping waves. Every mind a ripple in the same cosmic ocean. When you suffer, another part of the universe knows. When you rejoice, someone across the stars might smile in their sleep. Some people learn to control their dreams. Lucid dreamers can fly, shape cities, bend time. But more importantly, they remember. They choose. These dreamers are like astronauts walking between worlds. They explore the subconscious, yes, but also navigate alternate lives. Some have reported skills learned in dreams that carried into waking life. Some solve problems asleep that seemed impossible awake. Some report meeting the same people night after night, continuing conversations across weeks. What if lucid dreaming is just advanced travel between universes? A way to train the mind to hold onto the tether long enough to stay? You may wonder, so what? Even if this is true, even if dreams are portals to real places and minds are connected, how does it help me? It helps because it changes everything. If your dreams are real, then you are more than this body. You are infinite. You are not limited by circumstance or failure. Every version of you that exists happy, hurt, powerful, afraid, is still you. And they're rooting for you. It means you're never truly alone. You carry the wisdom of 1,000 lives in your heart. And when you sleep, you return to a council of yourselves, learning, healing, remembering. It means when you meet someone and feel like you've known them forever, you probably have. Somewhere else. In some other world. You've danced with them under strange skies. It means love is never wasted. Every time you send it out into a dream, into a thought, into the silence, it finds its way to another soul. Tonight, when you close your eyes, remember this. You are not falling asleep. You are rising into another life. You will meet people you once were, and might yet become. You will receive whispers from the universe. You will walk streets that breathe with memory. And when you wake, a part of you will stay behind, living, loving, evolving. So write your dreams down. Study them. Honor them. They are not illusions. They are reflections. They are not nonsense. They are maps. They are not fantasies. They are you, real, alive, and waiting just beyond the veil.